can I kick it? To all the people who can quest like a tribe does. Before this, did you really know what I was? Comprehend to
Music. It's something that a lot of us live with. And also, for some, they can't live without it. Some people even take it for granted. But one thing that many people don't realize is just how intricate and complex it is to make music. I mean, we spend so much time listening to such short songs, and we don't even know how much time it went into. I don't know.
Okay, good. Hi, my name is Amelia O'Keefe. I'm a freshman here at Temple University, and I'm a special education major.
So, Amelia, how long have you been making music?
I've been making music since I was little. Basically, like, I'd be in my living room and stuff, like pots and pans, you know. I'd, like, write lyrics and make my little sister perform them. And then, I've been, like, writing songs, like, just, like, the lyrics and stuff, or, like, singing for, like, years. But then only recently this year did I start, like, actually writing stuff on, like, my guitar.
Really? Yeah. And, like, how long does it usually take you, like, how long does it take you to write your lyrics?
I don't write lyrics a lot anymore, but it's usually just, like, 30 minutes to an hour. I just, like, write it down. But now I've just been writing, like, riffs and stuff on my guitar. But, that just takes me, like, I don't know, a few hours of, like, finagling with it.
So, who or what inspired you to, like, start making music?
Probably my dad. I mean, my whole family's kind of musical, so, like, my uncles and my aunts, like, my uncle's in a band, like, my grandpa plays the drums. My dad was always really into music when I was younger. There was always music playing in the house. Like, my dad plays guitar, drums, banjo, ukulele, like, literally everything. So, I don't know, I kind of, like, it was kind of, like, destined that I would do something with music.
Family of musicians,
yeah.
Huh? So, what do you think, like, in your opinion, what's the most difficult part about making music for you?
I would say the most difficult part is being consistent, especially if you're, like, playing an instrument. Like, if you don't practice for a few weeks, like, it kind of sets you back a while, and I'm not super consistent because I'm also in school, but I just say, like, also just being too hard on yourself. Like, if it doesn't sound good, you're like, I'm a failure, and then it's, like, a whole thing.
Yeah, I have yet to, like, practice music myself because I have actually been, like, music has actually had a very strong influence in my life as well. And when I was little, I actually used to play the saxophone, but I never used to be, like, super good at it, so I kind of, like, gave up on it, but I've always wanted to get back into music. So what, like, drives you to, like, stay motivated?
Honestly, I literally love music. Like, it's in, like, every aspect of my life, and I just try to remind myself that, like, it's just fun and it makes people happy, and I love creating things. And, like, even if it sounds ass or, like, it's just not good, like, you're still creating something, and that's, like, fun. That's, like, beautiful, so.
So, like, on the flip side now, what do you think is, like, the easiest part of making music for you?
I think the easiest part is, probably, like, singing. I don't know. I love singing. I'm not very good at it, but, like, it's easy. And I also feel like just, like, listening to music and, like, trying to emulate that is, like, the easiest part.
Yeah, but honestly, you shouldn't downplay yourself because I've heard you sing before and you're actually really good at it.
Thank you. Oh, my speaker.
But honestly, yeah. So is there any, like, other easy things that comes to music for you?
I think just, like, knowing that there's, like, such a community around it, and, like, whatever I make is, like, I know it's something I made, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so this is my guitar. I have a Fender Squire. It's, like, not the best guitar ever, but it works. So basically, when I want to tune it, I have this really handy little tuner. I don't actually know where I got it because it's my dad's and I stole it. But basically, I just plug it in, and then I click that little button, and then I grab the guitar. Oh, there's like 500 more chords. Hold on. Okay, and then on the little screen right here, it'll show, so, like, this is the, like, low E string. Please don't snap on me. It's really tight because I just replaced all the strings, so. Okay, cool. So then, bam, I have a tune. And I was gonna do standard tuning. Cause like depending on what I play, sometimes I don't do standard tuning, but that's a lot of work. And I don't want my strings to snap because I just put them, restrung it, so it's like not like broken in yet. Hold on, I'm gonna put this down. Here, bam, that's how the sound comes out. So then I plug in my amp, and I turn it on. And I hope that the people on my floor don't hate me. And then I click this right here because I like to put it in overdrive, which gives it that like meow sound. And then I turn the gain up, which also gives it that sound. And the volume. And I think the volume on the guitar is on it. Oh, that's kind of loud actually. And then I like kind of. Oh, fuck. Oh, I mean, oops. I don't know if I can I finish it.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay. So sometimes it hates me. That's kind of loud. Okay, and then I have the guitar. Bam. There you go. That's yeah. So I wasn't like professionally trained or anything. I'm just self-taught. So I didn't really go through like the guitar teacher, blah blah blah. Like I literally just looked up chords online and taught myself. So I mean I know the basic strings like E, A, D, G, B, E. But yeah, so I kinda just started learning songs that I liked and like learning chords and stuff. So like that's E minor, and that was like the first chord I learned. Then like G, and then there's more like advanced ones I guess, like bar chords, which took me a long time to get because you have to like put your whole whatever the freak it's called down. But yeah.
Musicians like Amelia really stand out to me because you actually don't have to follow sheet music at all or anything in particular. You just need to go off what you know. You need to practice yourself, and everything will stand out to you.
What's up, everybody? My name is EJ, also musically known as Remedy for EJ, and I make music, produce, engineer. I do everything, music. So, yeah.
All right. So EJ, how long have you been making music?
It's been about, I'd say, 6 years of taking music seriously, releasing tracks and dropping songs and stuff. But I've been making music since I was a kid, just playing the drums and stuff like that.
Really, you play the drums too?
Yeah, but I didn't take the drums too seriously. I dabbled with the guitar more later on. The
All right.
drums was like just like a childhood thing.
So then after that, that's when you got into the beats?
Yeah. So I really recently just got into beats actually, because I just been recording vocals and singing kind of most like for the first 5 years. It was kind of just singing and stuff, and this year I really picked up on making beats and like producing and stuff.
Okay, so another thing I want to ask you is like, because you said you played the drums earlier, so are instruments incorporated into your like beat making or whatever?
Yeah. So when you're asking what are instruments incorporated, what do you mean by that exactly? Are you
Like,
saying,
because you did say you played the drums, right?
like, am I playing them live as I'm recording them, or am I just?
Yeah, like are you playing them live as you're recording them?
So sometimes, not all the time. In school, because I go to school for audio technology, which is related to music. So when I do go to school, they have what's called a MIDI. It's like a keyboard. It's like a piano, and with those, you can actually play drums on the piano, and record it live on the software. So I do a little bit of that. I don't play live drums myself and record them into my songs because I'm not that skilled yet. But that's definitely something I would probably be interested in learning
So
how to
that's
do.
something you like want to get better at in the future?
Yeah. I definitely want to learn how to do everything myself. Like that's my end goal. Like just have everything done by your own hand.
Okay, so EJ, what exactly, like, who or what inspired you to make music?
So my father definitely inspired me to make music. Growing up, I was just watching him. He would have his own studio in our apartment, and I would just hear the music blasting and stuff. He would play gigs with other artists and stuff. So growing up, I would just always be around him and my mother, and it was just always around me. So once I finally was old enough to create my own music, I started doing that, and then I was introduced into rap really young as well. So that changed my whole world, as well as R&B. So just everything just came together as I was growing up.
Do you have a favorite artist or band at all?
Yeah, so my favorite artist currently is probably still West Side Gun. Um, just
How is
because
he? I've never heard his music before.
you said what?
How is he? I've never heard his music before.
It's like that old type of like old boom bap rap kind of like DJs like radio. That's what it kind of is, but it's so like modern. Because he's a fresh artist, so
Hmm.
um he's modern, but he still brings that old style in. So it's just like I love it so much. It's just fire.
Yeah, I see. AJ, what's the most difficult part about making music for you?
So me personally, I say it's something called mixing and mastering. Um, a lot of people that are not really into music don't understand the concept, but it's basically to put it in perspective, it's basically sound is an energy. It's like vibrations and waves. So depending on the quality of your speakers, if you have cheap speakers, it's not going to sound as good. If you have really expensive speakers, it's going to sound a lot better. So when you're working on your music and you're actually creating it, you can modify they're called EQs, and it's basically the frequencies of that vibration of sound. So you can modify all of that. You can add effects to it. Um, with all of that, after you do all of that, that's basically the quality of your song altogether. So you have to learn how to be able to change things and like, you know what I'm saying, boost the quality. And that's probably one of the hardest things about making music.
So the next question is actually the flip side of that. What's the easiest part of making music for you?
Okay. I definitely say the easiest part of making music is probably making the music itself, because it's all what I want, right?
Right.
When you make a song, it's what you want to hear, and you can change and flip anything. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the easiest, best part.
Yeah, that's interesting because the end result isn't always what you want.
Yeah. That is interesting, actually. Now that I think about it.
EJ being an independent artist means more work for himself, but if I learned anything, is that you don't need a team to do something special.
You better cross your heart to death. I'm feeling push you to the test, baby. Listen, baby, I ain't playing no games with you. Listen, baby, I ain't playing no games with you. Come back, you don't leave. You don't need no friends with you. You don't need no friends with you. Yeah, you don't need no friends with you. We on the same page, we getting rich. I made mistakes and thought I wouldn't live. Was breaking place, I wasn't getting it. And then you showed me how to get it back. I'll leave my hoes for you any day. You better cross your heart to death that you ain't playing me. Like I'm ready for the sex, babe, it's getting late. I'm feeling push you to the test, babe, feeling me. Listen, baby, I ain't playing no games with you. Come by, you don't need, you don't need no friends. No friends.
My name is Sean Shackleford. My stage name is Shaq, and I am a sophomore music tech major. And I'm excited to do this interview.
Hi, my name is Nujiri, and I'm a junior audio and live entertainment major at Temple.
Okay, so Sean, like, who or what inspired you to start making music?
I would just say the people around me. You know, I went to an art school, I went to a music school, and just hearing people in the hallways or people asking me to come listen to their projects, it made me want to do what they do and find my own path in it. And especially like today, where we have people who both produce and songwrite and record and perform, I love it. Like I think of Doja Cat and and Tyler the Creator as some of my biggest inspirations, not only because of their immense success, but their immense creativity as well. I think a lot of their beats, especially the fact that I know that Tyler made every single beat on his newest album, is perfect for me because it shows like not only are you thinking as just a songwriter or a performer, you're thinking as a producer, and I think that's a specific skill that's been lost in the modern age. You know, you go back to Michael Jackson.
Oh, the king of pop?
The king of pop. Michael Jackson was not just Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones. Back when production was a full-time art. You know, production used to require not only putting sounds together, but instructing people on how to put these sounds together, on instructing instrumentalists where to stand, and instructing the room in how to guide that creativity that exists in every single person in that room.
Interesting.
And then, of course, engineering, which is its own struggle.
Yeah.
But.
Okay.
I don't really make music.
Really?
Yeah.
So, like, what exactly do you do in terms of this class?
I'm honestly more interested in or I wouldn't say more interested, but I'm taking a lot of classes like surrounding the business aspect of music and like the music industry. But I think that the tech side is really important, and like I am a lover of music, which is why I chose the major. So I'm actually doing a certificate through the major, which is it's called Music Technology Certificate, and this is like one of the classes for it. So yeah.
Interesting. You know, Sean, it's actually pretty funny you bring up artists, because my actual next question is, who is your favorite artist?
Oh, I hate that question because I listen to like all kinds of music. I know like everyone says that, but really like I don't have even a specific genre that I like more than another.
I'm gonna name two.
Oh.
Two different reasons. Hiatus Coyote and then Doja Cat. These are two completely different realms of music.
I know who Doja Cat is, but I've never heard of Coyote.
Hiatus Coyote, yes. They are an experimental jazz band from Australia. They are wonderful in their sense of just musicality, in their sense of rhythm and groove. And what speaks to me the most is that everything they do while recorded in a studio, they're playing their own instruments. It's all semi-live.
Yeah.
And I love that feeling.
Well, off the top of my head, I've been listening to a lot of Caroline Polachek. She has like insane production. Who else? I feel like I listen to a lot of like world music, like music in different languages, like Turkish music, like music in Spanish. There's a lot of genres in the Spanish language. I've also really been liking Scorpions a lot recently, which is like a band from the 80s, so kind of like rock.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, it's interesting that you have like such a wide range of like music preferences, because I'm a similar way. I listen to almost everything.
Yeah.
I love Doja Cat for a different reason. I think Doja Cat right now is so beyond her peers in terms of everything, pretty much. I mean, I love her production. I love how she sounds on her tracks. I love how she experiments with the way her voice sounds. If you listen to Head High, which y'all should, if y'all get a chance, Head High, Doja Cat, you'll notice how the chorus is completely different from the verses, not only just in the amount of notes she uses, but also in dynamic range, but also in the way her voice sounds. What I think they do is they put like a small little EQ and just take a little bit off that top end and put a redux. What that does is make it sound like she's talking through a phone, right? Like, I got a mother, y'all got mom, but they love every fucking song. Versus the chorus, they help me hold my, which is just very clear and very poppy. But I love the way she experiments with stuff like that because it makes me want to experiment with things like that in my music. How can I make my verses different from my choruses, different from my bridge? And what in that do I want to make different? Pre-production is a lost art, and I think Doja Cat has mastered pre-production.
Okay, that's actually really beautiful, Sean. So the next question I have for you is, what is the most difficult part about making music?
Like I just said, pre-production. Really taking the time. I should also preclude this by saying like today's modern music is made very fast, and I think a lot of artists today brag about how fast things were made. You know, this beat was made in 30 minutes. This verse was recorded in 20 minutes, and I had to run to the airplane to catch my flight. Today in this modern age, people are so concerned about speed that they don't care about quality. And I think pre-production, really thinking about not only the sounds you want to use, the instruments you want to use, but where you want to place these sounds in the field of, hearing. That is so important. I said it was a lost art, and I completely agree. I don't think people take it as seriously as they should, especially up and coming artists. I think they hear a song and they're just like, okay, it's just vocals on a track. But it's not. You'll hear it. At one point, the vocals are just completely in the middle. Then they're split on the sides. Then they're on the middle and the sides at the same time. Then you have some harmonies over here, some harmonies over here, and then the vocals in the middle. And then you have a bass doubling the melody of the vocals. So it's like there's so many things that people pre-plan out, well, that used to pre-plan out, that people don't do anymore. And that's truly the most difficult part, is just conceptualizing everything you want to do before you do it.
And in terms of music production, or usually what you want to do, what's the most difficult part about that?
Well, this is my first music production oriented class. Last semester I was in a recording industry practicum, which is you work in our student run record label, which is Bell Tower Music. And I was the media coordinator, so I was more kind of doing what you guys are doing, filming the process. So I did get to see behind the scenes of our, what are they called? Our sound engineers and what they did. But in terms of actually doing hands-on stuff, I feel I'm learning a lot of the language that's used in surrounding recording and stuff like that. And I haven't really done anything. I feel I'm just learning and absorbing right now. Yeah.
Okay, so that's good to hear. So on the flip side of that, what to you is the easiest part about making music?
Coming up with a melody. Most of the time, after you've made the beat, everything just kind of clicks into place. Once you got your melody, then you do your harmonies underneath. Honestly, I think the easiest part about making a song is writing the song. Truthfully.
Because honestly, I can't comprehend, because I've actually been wanting to be in a band for a really long time. Mm-hmm. So, but I've never really understood what it means to write lyrics.
Well, it's different for every artist. I think, well, some start with melody first. Some start with words first.
I feel the easiest part is the actual music. I feel when you get into the technical stuff of oh, where do we put this microphone, and are we gonna condense this, or blah 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 blah, I don't know, to me in a way it kind of takes the magic out of it, but my favorite part of music production is the music itself and making something.
Then you can start humming to it. And then you can put words over that. And typically the way this works, you keep playing shit long enough, it'll just flow out. I'm kind of nervous in this place right now, but I shouldn't be. I don't know how. I'm keeping calm, saving face. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Maybe I'm so tired of waiting for that. Honestly, a lot of that just comes from fucking up so much that I now know exactly what sounds good and what sounds bad. I only been doing this for a year, but in that time, I've made about like 20 different songs, each with their own set of completely different problems. I make, especially sound design and just knowing what to do with vocals. When I first started making music, every one of my basses went wah, 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 wah. And every one of my pianos was just like, it was so weird. I don't know, it was just so icy. It was like, think of like an 80s guitar, but on a piano sound. It was bad sound design. But eventually you realize through yourself and through plenty of people telling you what they think to know what sounds right. And at first it used to annoy me, but then I realized like people generally like me. They want to see me grow into something big, and so if something doesn't sound right to them and it don't sound right to me, I can't be mad at them for saying what don't sound right.
Students like Sean and Najiri are very special because they're both very talented at what they do. And they also make music on the side, despite all the classes they have to go through. But in all honesty, to see them excel at something they love doing is very heartwarming to me. Okay, the last question I have for you, Sean, is to you, what is so fulfilling about making music?
Endless possibilities. One of the scariest things in my life that I've figured out is like I hate being bored. Like my worst fear, one of the things I get paranoid about is just like getting old and losing interest in something that I spent my whole life doing. Like I never want to experience a midlife crisis. I've experienced so much crisis throughout my life, I don't need anymore. I want something that will keep me entertained or distracted or whatever for long enough until I die. And music is that thing. There is so much that's always changing, always evolving, not only about us as musicians, but about the tastes of consumers.
Creating things, whether it's art, music, like I crochet, whatever. But I also think the community is the most fulfilling part, especially if you're into more like niche subgenres or like the DIY scene for any music like genre. Like it's just music like brings people together, and it's like really beautiful when you see like a community, and especially if you make something or like you're playing something and other people are there too. It's like, oh, like we're all coming together.
You can really ask this to anybody that makes music. It's just hearing their music back. You know, being able to share it to others, seeing how people react to it when they listen to it. When you know, obviously in the beginning when you first start, it's not going to be like, you might not have a lot of people liking your music too much, but once you start getting better and you get into the swing of things, like people start giving you really good feedback and it just makes you feel amazing.
Well, without music production, there'd be no music, you know? Like, it's just like the foundation of making music. I feel like that's important. It takes the magic out of it in a way, because it's like, oh, like it is very technical and it's very specific, but without those technical aspects you wouldn't have the final product, so it's also part of the magic.
But I love playing music, like I always have. It's literally like the biggest part of my life, I think. And I love like being involved in all the communities surrounding it, and like I've been inspired by so many incredible musicians.
The sound we're listening to is only one sound of the thousands that are to come. And I'm just excited to explore new sounds and explore new genres and explore new tastes.
I love music, and my life would not be the same without it. So
there's so much to love.
So now you know, huh? There's a lot more that goes into music than you think. From instruments to mic placements, the list of things to discuss is endless. So the next time you decide to put on a song, just know, it takes a lot to make something that you love.
Be still. I finally am. Be calm. A beating heart. and I won't stop. Be patient till I fall apart.